and Happy New Year! So I'm going to be doing something a little bit different to celebrate the start of 2019. I'm actually going to be going through a bucket list I wrote back in 2011. That's back when I was 17. I'm a bit nervous. This is this is explicitly like reading my diary out to the internet, but I'm really interested to share with you guys what my goals and ambitions were back then, what I have achieved, and I don't know what goals I really do not care to pursue anymore. If you are interested in what my resolutions are for this year 2019, I've just written a blog post on 10 eco-friendly New Year's resolutions. Those are ones that I'm going to be taking with me this year. And there's a mixture of some good quick fixes alongside with some more year-long projects. I think they're good resolutions. I think they are a bit different to everything else I've been seeing online, so do go check that out and let me know which of them you're thinking of picking up. Without further ado, let's get into this. So when I was younger, I actually kept my diary in a ring binder. I found that notebooks were just a little bit too small, I suppose, and here I could just keep inserting pages. A lot of private, cringy things in here. Trying to find the bucket list was quite traumatic for me. I had to read through a lot of shit, particularly about boys. Okay, so as I said, this was written back in 2011. Back then I was 17, I had just finished my GCSEs, gone on to college. I'd already been vegan for about 4 years. I believe I was single at the time of writing this. I never really had any long-term boyfriends until I got to university, and I was always very studious as well, so I wouldn't be surprised if there were some goals about university in here. And to give you an idea of what 2011 looked like for the rest of the world, a few fun facts. It was the year that Will and Kate got married, and to put that into perspective, they now have 3 children. It was the year that Charlie Sheen had that really infamous interview where he was winning, and the songs of the year included Adele's Rolling in the Deep, Lady Gaga's Born This Way, and Rihanna's We Found Love. Actually, just telling you all this, it kind of flashes back that Glee was also a popular show at the time. Also, just like to say, just got my hair cut yesterday at The Painted Lady. It's a vegan-friendly salon in London. I'll leave a link down below regarding that as well. Let's get into the bucket list. This was written on the 23rd of April 2011. Number 1 on the list, I have to crowd surf. I was really into my bands. I had an emo phase and I was going to festivals all the time. I've never crowd surfed in my life, and to be honest, I don't want to anymore. Nope. Number 2 was to get a tattoo. I can happily say I've now achieved that. I have 3 tattoos. I've got this one on my wrist, but if you look real close, my sister always says that the inside looks like a nipple. Way to ruin someone's first tattoo. I also have, oh god, we're getting a bit personal here. I've got a little green V there. God, I don't know how to show this one. And here I've got Be the Change. There we go. Next up we have Go Blonde. I think every teenage girl thinks this, maybe boys as well, but that there's something worth trying to be on the other spectrum. If you're a brunette, maybe you want to try life a bit as a blonde, and vice versa. I would say that I have kind of accidentally gone more blonde than I ever wanted to a couple of times in my life, where I've just tried to go for a lighter shade of brown and then the hairdressers have taken it too far. Didn't look good. Not something I'm looking to do ever again. God, I think every video I talk about Buffy the Vampire Slayer, but Cordelia Chase has the best hair. So if I ever think about changing up my hair, I just go look at what her hair was like in probably like season 2 Buffy was the peak, and then I compare it to what it looked like in like season 4 Angel, and I just remind myself that this is my hair. This is what works. And number 4, I have to run a marathon. I have half done this. I ran a half marathon in 2017, and my New Year's resolution in 2017 was to run more. That went pretty well. I don't know if I actually do want to run a marathon anymore. I felt like the half marathon was a good achievement. I was quite happy with how that went, and I did a lot of running that year. That was fun. I'm not gonna say I'm ruling it out, but it's not something I actually think would bring me huge value to my life. I think it's just something I'd like to brag about, and I don't know if that's the best intention for doing stuff. Number 5, oh, I must have written this one right after reading through the Hunger Games trilogy, but it was to hit a bullseye, brackets archery. Yeah, definitely not high on the list, but maybe, you know, something cool to do in life. Number 6 is to go on a blind date. Never been on a blind date. I always thought they sound kind of cool, but now I've got a boyfriend and things are looking good, so maybe I'll never get to try that one out. Oh god. Number 7 was to record a song with musical instrument. That one's kind of gone. Tom plays the guitar and the keyboard and also the harmonica, so I kind of live vicariously through him now on that one. I'd like to hear him record a song with one of his musical instruments. It's definitely not one of my creative talents. Give Blood is on here. I feel really bad to say that I have not done that. These are actually a lot deeper than I thought a 17-year-old would come up with. Giving blood, still not something I've done. Just going to doctors makes me feel dizzy. I faint every time I've had a piercing and every time I've had a tattoo, and it's kind of put me off giving blood because I don't know what my blood type is, but if I'm quite a common blood type, I'll probably take up a bit too much of their time for it to really be valuable. But if I do have a rarer blood type, I suppose it still would be quite useful. So it's something I should still look into. Next up on the list, I have skydive. Definitely ruling that off. I have realised as I've gotten older that I actually do have quite a fear of heights. I struggled to do a zip line in London earlier this year, so skydiving ruled off. Maybe I'll allow myself to cheat that one with a skydive experience where you just like go in a simulator instead. Do you know what? I was quite a sweetheart. Raised £1,000 for charity. I don't think that's something I've done. Maybe collectively over the course of my whole life, I probably have achieved that, but not on a one-off event. I'm not sure how much I raised running around the half marathon, probably about 400 quid, I'd guess. Okay, I'm definitely keeping that one on there. I want on a one-off event to raise £1,000 for charity, and hopefully I won't have to shave off all my hair to do it. Number 11 is to go speed dating, another thing I don't think I'll be able to do now that I've got a boyfriend. I'm hoping we last forever, but at least I've got some consolation here that if we don't, I can have 2 things to tick off this list. Okay, number 12 is to get drunk. For any Brits watching this, you're probably thinking, how did you not get drunk by the time you're 17? The drinking age is 18 in the UK, but everyone starts getting drunk around 15. I didn't start drinking until I was 22. And even looking at this list, obviously it was something I wanted to do in my life, but nothing I wanted to do very soon. Yes, I can definitely tick that one off now. Oh, I don't even think I've said this yet, but if you're good at maths, you've already figured it out. I'm now 25. Oh God, I've only been drinking for 3 years, Tom. No, terrible habit. Okay. So number 13 is to learn to belly dance. So I started belly dancing late 2016. I don't think I actually knew that had been on my list since April 2011. That's crazy. Yeah, I've been belly dancing like 3 hours a week now for just over 2 years. Wow, yes. Oh, this makes me feel good. Number 14 is to make my own item of clothing. I think that is something I'd still quite like to get into. I think I would like to, I don't know, get a sewing machine and go to a couple of classes and learn how to take apart some fabric and make my own skirt or top or dress or whatever. I don't know if it's really something I've got the time to invest in right now, but yeah. I've got scuba diving on here. I have been snorkeling, but not scuba diving. I don't think when I wrote this I understood how expensive it was to go on a course to learn to dive and then to continue with it. So maybe next time we're in Asia, we will invest in that and put money aside to like focus on that, because I do love looking at the fish under the water and pretending to be a mermaid. 16 is to get a driver's license. At 17 I didn't have a license to drive, and still at 25 I don't. And that again is something that takes way too much time and money compared to what I actually have, so 17, go to a club. Yeah, done that now, yeah. And when I say go to a club, I definitely meant nightclub here, not a like hobby. This one is, I don't know where it came from, that's all, but to ride a mechanical bull. You know, it's always in those TV shows and people always fall off, and maybe I just want to prove I'll stay on. At 19, I've got to swim with dolphins. I said I was already vegan for like 4 years when I wrote this, so probably mean like as in the wild as possible, not a SeaWorld thing, but I'm not sure if that is even something you can do as an ethical tourist. Still sounds lovely, but I'm not willing to trade like dolphin exploitation for that once in a lifetime experience. I don't know, if you guys have ever seen anything ethical about dolphin swimming, let me know. I'm not holding out much hope on that though. Here I've got to go up the Eiffel Tower. Yeah, I really want to go to Paris, particularly now I've got a boyfriend. I feel like I've given him so many hints that I want to go to Paris. It's only on the Eurostar, so I would like to go up the Eiffel Tower still. And despite having a fear of heights, I think I could cope with that. I've got to drink tea in Japan. I think I must have started, you know, exploring Pinterest at this stage and just put in bucket list and picked out the ones I like the sound of, because these are all sounding very like cliche Tumblr type things. 22 is to see a psychic. I don't really believe in psychics, but I still think it'd be a fun experience. 23 is to be in a music video, which I actually have crossed off. I wonder if I actually had this crossed off at the time of writing it. Maybe I like included it, humble brag. Yeah. But no, the year before I wrote this, I featured in, kind of, very vaguely, a My Chemical Romance music video because they did a live audience sort of music video for Planetary Go in London, and I can spot me in it. Other people don't believe me, but I know it's me. Here I've got to go backstage. That always sounded very cool. Kind of have done that as a belly dance performer, you know, we're always backstage, but I don't think those were the intentions I had when I wrote this, but I'm claiming it. I've got go to a masquerade. We had a masquerade themed Christmas party, 2017. Claiming it, yeah, that counts. 26 is to play poker. Still don't know how to do that. 27 is to learn a martial art. This was probably around the time I started watching Buffy the Vampire Slayer, maybe. I did kickboxing for a few weeks, a couple of years back, but I couldn't afford it. It was really expensive. It was like, yeah, this was a beginner price, and then once you got a bit better, they like upped it. And I thought they were really sly about the way they did that. I didn't know that going in. And you also had to pay for like a uniform on top of that. I just thought, nah. It's definitely something I would also be interested in pursuing later on in life. I think that there's a lot of cool things to be learned from martial arts. Solve a Rubik's Cube. Yeah, definitely a solid goal. Gamble in Vegas. I went to Vegas before when I was like really young, 10 or something. And obviously you couldn't gamble at that age, so have to go back and play a slot machine. And I've got go to a roller disco. I've got horrendous balance, can't ice skate for shit, but a roller disco I'm sure is so much easier and funner. 31 I put skydive on again. Like the one I really don't want to do is actually on here twice. 32 is to knit a scarf. Weird one, okay. 53 is to volunteer. I've done volunteering, I've never done it as a study thing, but I've been to like one-off things. I was a member of the Conservation Society at university and we did a few one-off pieces there. So yeah, I mean, volunteering is always a goal in life. Go to Harry Potter World. I would love to go. I remember there being like 2 girls who went like the first year it opened in my year at school and I was so jealous. Yeah, still haven't been. It is quite a way off in Florida. There are other things in my life I'm saving up for at the moment. 35 is to go to Italy with a lover. You hear that, Tom? Okay, he takes note. Seems like a very romantic destination. Number 36, ride on a motorbike. Anyone who's been following me will know that I got hit by a motorbike last year. And I've always been kind of like nervous about roads. It's probably one of the reasons I still haven't learnt to drive. But motorbikes definitely, like, if I've been hurt off of one, I can only imagine the damage that will happen on one. So, not interested anymore. 37 is to throw a punch. Wow, how macho. As I said, I did kickboxing before, so I guess I've thrown a punch, just not in any like vindictive, vengeful sort of way. And then 38 is to be happy and challenged in a job role. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess for a moment or two I felt that way. I think to consistently feel that way in a job. I must have added that later on. There's no way I wanted that at 17. That was my bucket list. And it actually sounds like I was quite a mature 17-year-old. I think those were actually a lot more sound than I would have expected. They were very generic. I thought that there would be some real embarrassing things in there, but that actually wasn't too bad. Yeah, let me tally up how many of them I actually have done. To be honest, now I'm looking at the ride on a motorbike one, I can actually cross that off because I rode on one when I went to Thailand and I wanted to get a taxi to where we were staying, but there were no taxis, so I actually had to get on a motorbike with like my suitcase towered up on it, me on it, and then the driver on it, and that was terrifying. So I can actually cross that off, so that is 10 out of 38, but it's actually out of 37 because I put skydiving on there twice. That is 27%. Not too bad, not too bad. There are some things that I expected to be on it. I thought like something like starting a blog would be on there, but maybe that came a bit later. I don't know. I thought there'd also be stuff like get a maths degree, or I don't know. Do any of you guys have bucket lists? Have you ever written one? Are you kind of inspired to now? I don't know. I feel like I kind of want to rewrite it. A lot of it is kind of out of date and some of it is just a little bit wishy-washy. I really don't care about crowd surfing or hitting a bullseye or going on a blind date. It all just seems a bit flimsy aspirations in life. I could probably come up with some more meaningful things, but I don't know, maybe that'll be another video. Maybe I will revisit this and come up with some better ideas. These don't really align with any of my current goals and targets. But yeah, interesting. It was really cool to review. Thank you so much for watching. As I said, I've got my 2019 New Year's resolutions, which are all eco-friendly, on the blog, so I'm going to link that down below. And thank you for watching. If you haven't already, please do subscribe and like. You can also follow me on Instagram at Vegan by Nicole and at Vegan Beauty Girl. Feel free to give me a follow there. Until next time.